Hey guys, I'm Michele Coursey. I'm the ministry assistant here at Georgia State Baptist Collegiate Ministries. Today we're going to talk about an issue that we all deal with sometimes, and that's knowing God's will for our lives. So I'm going to read 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verses 16 through 18. Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God for you in Christ Jesus. So many times we get to points in our lives where we have to ask questions and what God's will is in our life. Who should I marry? Who should I date? What job should I do? Where should I go to college? Where should I live? There's so many questions that influence our life journey. 1 Thessalonians 16 through 18 tells us what God's will is for our life. So I know a lot of people sometimes say, oh, the Bible is so hard. So we're going to take a deep theological look into these verses. So verse 16, rejoice always. So that actually means rejoice always. It means rejoice when things aren't fair. It means rejoice when things are too hard and you don't think that you can get through this one. It means rejoice all the time. Verse 17, pray without ceasing. Okay, so if there are any questions, that means pray without ceasing. It means pray all the time. God doesn't want just a list of our wish list. He doesn't want a list of people who we want to bless. He wants you. He wants a part of you. He wants to communicate with you, and that's through prayer. So pray without ceasing. Just keep that constant communication with God. Okay, verse 18. I know this is getting complicated. In everything, give thanks, and that means in everything, give thanks. Give thanks, of course, for this beautiful day that we have today, for our friends and family, and when things are going great, it's easy to be thankful. But it also means those times when it hurts and when things are hard and when we're trying really hard and we still failed that test. It means be thankful. You have the opportunity to be in school. You have great opportunities, even when things aren't going exactly how we want them to. So in everything, give thanks. Be thankful for everything. And the last part of verse 18 is just the big part. For this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. You know, so many times when we think of God's will for our life, we think of a destination, somewhere that we're going to arrive at. We're going to marry this person, we're going to get this job, and then we're going to be living in God's will. Yes, God has plans for our life, but God's will is something that we have to do every single day. We have to get up and we have to rejoice and we have to pray and we have to be thankful, for that's His will. It's not a destination. You know, we don't get to God's will and then we just retire in some, God's will land where everything is great and perfect and good. Not till we get to heaven. Then, that's when we get that part. But God's will is not a destination that we arrive to. Again, God's will for our life is so simple, yet so hard sometimes. Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, and everything give thanks, for this is God's will for your life in Christ Jesus.